Welcome back. We're going crazy here tonight. Here was what happened last week when it came to the truck toll lawsuits.
The fight is on over Rhode Island's truck tolls. The state started collecting from large tractor trailers last month, and now the national trade group American Trucking Associations is suing in federal court.
The lawsuit details with great clarity how Governor Raimondo's Roadworks truck-only tolling scheme is a blatant violation of multiple constitutional provisions designed specifically to protect interstate commerce.
The lawsuit claims the tolls violate what's called the Commerce Clause of the U.S. Constitution, in part because only large trucks class 8 and above have to pay the tolls. Other vehicles pay nothing. Chris Maxwell with the Rhode Island Trucking Association says it also puts a burden on out-of-state trucks just passing through.
You can't take the free interstate and pervert it and manipulate it for your own personal gain or your state's gain.
Only 2 tolls are currently operating in southern Rhode Island, but 12 more are planned. The revenue will make up 10% of the funding for the Roadworks program to fix roads and bridges. And RIDOT Director Peter Alviti has long argued tractor trailers have done the most damage to that infrastructure. RIDOT sent a statement in response to the lawsuit saying, "This is a lawsuit we expected. We are prepared to defend the tractor-trailer truck-only tolling program and have been prepared to do so for 3 years. We are confident that we will prevail."
Well, the rope-a-dope on the lawsuit was kind of interesting. Mike Collins is a local truck operator, and really one of the, along with Chris, who you saw in the package from the Rhode Island Trucking Association, Mike's membership of the American Trucking Association, and his articulate study of this has been a leading voice. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
We only have about 7 or 8 minutes here to get through everything, but I'm curious about the timing of this, because originally you guys were threatening lawsuit, and I even had the governor saying that she would hedge your bets, my words, on putting all the tolls up based on the outcome of the lawsuit. Then you guys did kind of a cool thing and went, hey, you know what, we'll sue on our own doggone time. And they were like, well, we'll force them to sue us if they don't sue us on time. And then what happened?
We went silent.
You went silent.
We went silent, and it was we did that intentionally, purely intentional. We wanted to see how far they were going to push this thing. They were holding it there too, but we knew they put applications in for the environmental for the other toll gantries.
Right. So we have 2 gantries up as a package indicated, but there's as many as 14 to 17 still to come.
Right.
And there's these environmental steps and everything else. And
correct. So the ATA, the American Truck Association, did engage a very pretty large law firm out of Washington, D.C., and they're one of the top 15 in the country. They've been sitting on this data. We've been collecting data, and we had 4.5 boxes of data to give them of conversations. Every conversation that was relative to, from Speaker Mattiello to the governor, always saying that the outer truck tolls companies were going to pay the burden of this. That's
out of state.
Out of state.
Right.
That's a clear violation of the Dormant Commerce Clause right in the Constitution. And with that being said, the lawsuit has been crafted. As you've seen, you have a copy of it. It's 27 pages long. It refers to an awful lot to the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court cases that set the precedents for this.
Again, basis is discrimination.
It's discrimination, yes. The basis on this suit is discrimination.
Meaning, hey, not just us and the 18-wheelers, it should be everybody else, including, you argue, by the way, there's a whole trucking community that's exempt from this.
Absolutely. So we have to go back, and what they did was they targeted what would be the over-the-road classification of tractor-trailer. All right, and clearly stated that they were going to pin it on the out-of-state carrier. With that being said, the over-the-road carrier can run up to 80,000 GVW gross over 5 axles. Rhode Island has laws that trucks can run with 3 axles, such as dump trucks and cement mixers, at 77,000 pounds. The other one is doing your damage to your bridges. I mean, do the math. It's clear.
They're not as balanced.
They're not as stretched out.
They're concentrated weight.
Correct. We can go out, as I showed you last time I did my little scale of metrics. But with that being said, we can go out 75 feet in our length. So our 80,000 pounds is dispersed over, that whole length. And we have a bridge formula that we have to abide by. So we can only put so much weight on the rear tandem axles of the trailers, so much on the drives, and so much on the front. If we violate that, we get a ticket for that.
All right. Tell me about the legal and politics here. Well, what are your lawyers telling us the timing is going to be on this litigation?
Well, the judge, the lawsuit was released Tuesday, as you know, and it was signed. It was assigned Thursday, I believe, to Judge Smith in the federal courts. It could be September, October before they look at it. November, we don't know the time frame wise, to be honest with you. Why the lawsuit was weighted, Dan, to answer your first question, is we had to get harmed. And there had to be a financial...
Well, you didn't wait that long. I think it's only been a month.
We only waited a month or so. Right.
Is the truck traffic count on line with what the state expected?
You know, you can't get an honest answer out of them because they keep saying that they haven't got their numbers back. Well, I'm getting my bills.
Well, the first week they were saying, oh, it's even more than we expected.
Right. I'm getting my bills, no problem. So on other people. So with the Easy Pass, so they should be able to give us a truck total, and yet they keep avoiding the issue.
You keep telling them that they're overestimating the number of trucks the state will see.
They are, and you know, last week Mr. Alvini spoke that no trucks are diverting. Well, I have an email right in front of me right here from a pretty large motor carrier that's, a matter of fact, named in the lawsuit, based out of Pawtucket. And if I may for 1 second, in only 5 business days, we incurred 375 separate toll events at the 2 Rhode Island locations at a cost of $1,215. This is one carrier. The impact to our company is going to be staggering. And he goes on to the next carrier that they're going to look at closing the terminal and the operations down. That's 150 people that will be out of jobs in Pawtucket.
That's not a diversion, that's a shutdown.
That's a shutdown. And then there's another one of another motor carrier out of Massachusetts who now is diverted all their trucks.
What's your guess? Will the administration halt the growth of this toll plan in lieu of the lawsuit?
Oh, no, they seem to be going full throttle.
I don't know, though. I think they're going through the motions.
Well, they might be. I don't know. It's scary. It's scary. They're going to lose this.
The total projection of revenue from truck tolls, even if they're correct, is no more than 10% of the total
Absolutely
roadworks
insignificant.
project.
Insignificant amount of money, Dan, and I have statistics here and studies with me that show that every state in the country, other state in the country, is going with a diesel fuel tax increase.
This lawsuit here is important because it's kind of a bellwether for nationwide.
It sets a precedence, absolutely, what goes on here. To reiterate that the Rhode Island DOT got permission to toll overpasses. The DOT never told them that they could toll tractor trailers only. They said they could toll. So we need to clarify that. They got permission to toll, not one class of vehicle.
This will be an interesting play-by-play.
It's going to be very interesting.
All right, Mike. Keep us informed.
I will.
And
Thanks for having me.
The state side is always welcome here, but somehow it just doesn't seem like the state wants to. Why can't we get him to talk about this on this forum?
I don't think me and you wear the right cologne or something. I don't know. We can't, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll keep working on it.
Thank you.
Right. Well, the final word when we get back. Stay with us. We actually have a bonus 2 minutes here. So, you know, Mike's got a radio show that he hosts with Chris Maxwell from the Trucker Association on WPRO on Saturdays now. So, you know, I like to hit him on a couple of different issues. By the way, who do the truckers support in this governor's race? Joe Trillo said that he supported your lawsuit.
Well, Joe Trillo supports the lawsuit. Pat Morgan supports the lawsuit. Alan Fung supports the lawsuit. We haven't come out and made any type of decision.
Will you do that, or will that?
But the Trucking Association normally isn't in the habit of picking a candidate.
So you're not going to
no.
create political momentum of the lawsuit.
No, absolutely not. You know,
you're going to stay in your lane, so to speak.
We're going to stay in our lanes. And as a prime example, you want to talk about getting off lane. This week was the supposed to be the conference that was scheduled for Newport, Rhode Island, with the 50 state associations. Probably $1.5 million spent, and it was moved to Rockport, Maine, because of the tolls.
Really?
Yep. The ATA and the trucking associations would not come to Rhode Island. They canceled it because of the toll situation and moved it to Rockport.
I was away for a week. Have you been publicly discussing that, or is that new news?
No, that's new news. I just figured it's breaking here, right here.
Well, that's a big economic impact.
It's a huge economic impact. About 500 hotel rooms for 5 nights.
Did they actually put in writing why they were leaving
Newport?
Well,
they said it. Chris brought it out a couple of years ago that they were going to pull the conference, and it didn't even phase women downtown. Publicly come right out and said it.
Well, I don't know that you changed the entire policy for one convention.
No,
but it certainly is a statement by the truckers.
It is a statement. It is a statement.
Right.
You know, and you know, with that being said, you know what? There'll be some other statements.
By the way, you think Trillo screwed up hitting the rocks, or were the rocks unmarked? What's your
well?
Since he's watching this show, we gotta have this.
I wasn't on the boat. Okay, I'll give him that.
You weren't on the boat.
I weren't on the boat, but I have my master's license, a captain's license, and I fished out there.
Uh-oh.
I think Joe might have been in a little too close. okay?
He's never had a problem ever.
You know what? I understand he circumvented all over the place. Listen, get out in front of it. I screwed up, end of story. The story goes by the wayside, right?
Yeah.
That's all.
Although his name recognition is going through the roof.
Hey.
And in these, you know, in the old days, Mike, I could tell you that all name recognition was not good.
Right.
The old days are gone. I have no idea anymore.
I remember the old cars with the big things on the roof, people driving up and down the neighborhoods. Remember that?
You know, yeah, sometimes the old adage of just spell the name right actually works. Good
Yeah,
to see
it
you, my
does.
friend.
I agree with that.
Thanks for the bonus time.
No problem.
By the way, that is breaking news that the thing moved from Newport to Maine. Final word when we come back. Yeah, and that was a pretty provocative afternoon with Donald Trump, our president, and Vladimir Putin. I'm still processing it. I'm sure many of you are processing it, and we'll try to process it over the course of the week. In the meantime, tomorrow night, Steve Frias, now the two-time candidate for District 15, running against the Speaker of the House in Rhode Island, Nick Mattiello, will be my guest, and we'll have a conversation about whether the second time is a charm. In the meantime, we'll talk to you at 3 tomorrow on WPRO, where we are weekdays, 3 till 6. We appreciate you listening. Have a great summer night.